Awesome. So, the reason why I asked you on specifically on the Next Generation Combat Medic blog, I saw an article that you had written with Mike Gloria and Andy Fisher on, just training, how we're screwing up and, kind of how we can do better. So, my first question is, what the hell's wrong with what we're doing now? Like, it's worked since the beginning of time, and it's worked so far. Why do we got to change it?
Well, it's not necessarily changing it. It's just a refocus on how we approach it. So, this originally came from a YouTube video that I did after kind of, just over the years and different social media posts and people, marketing their company and the way they do things and all that kind of business. I really identified that there's not really any rhyme or reason behind the way that people go about training. It's just, it can range from someone having a very regimented approach to it to someone throwing dodgeballs at someone while they put a tourniquet on. Like there's no established guidelines on that kind of stuff. So, really, I did a video kind of explaining that and doing peer review of different videos and ways of, people are doing live fire packing drills on YouTube and stuff like that. And these are taught by legit individuals who have backgrounds and accolades from the war and all sorts of stuff. And they still think it's appropriate to do a live fire wound packing on a wound cube. And it's like, it's not necessarily bad. It's just ineffective in a lot of ways, and that's what I want to explain in the video. And then furthermore, with this paper that stemmed from it, because I did the video, and I obviously know Dr. Fisher from my time in regiment, although we weren't friends because I was an E4 and he was a captain. But we reconnected later on in life, and he got Dr. Loria, who's a former PJ turned physician. I think he's an emergency medicine physician now. And, they really liked what I explained in the video, obviously in much more lay terms video-wise than it was in the paper. And they were able to connect the dots for me a little bit on some of the things that the way I approach training and have evolved how I approach training to legit actual theories that are evidence-based in nature. And, we just did it because you realize after a couple of years of training dudes and, oh man, we're going to do another trip up the hill. And then they leave and they're like, that was crazy. That was awesome. Thank you so much. And, but you're watching and they're like, they aren't any better at any of the things that we went over the last few days. Like the dressings still look like a gypsy camp. Tourniquets are still loose. Tourniquet tabs aren't secured. There was no rhyme or reason behind how they approached the MASCAL. There was no roles or responsibilities. Like, these are all things we went over, but no one's good at it still. Mm-hmm. So they took a real just kind of, just years of introspection and just being like, how do we change this so that dudes get actually better, as opposed to leaving feeling like that was awesome.